Hi there, I'm Jodi Reinert, and this is my Stamp with Jodi YouTube channel. This video is part of our Great American Stampin' Show. I've partnered with a few other Stampin' friends, and we do a little contest every couple of weeks where we each create a project based on either a stamp set or a product. Season 1 was all about stamp sets. Season 2 is all about products. But today, we have a fun little adjustment to that. We are bringing you fun folds. So this was a bit of a challenge for me. Quick and creative doesn't always involve fun folds, but I'm really excited about what I came up with. I think you're going to love it. I just really like how it turned out after learning, designing, and creating the video all today. So this is a very new thing for me, this particular fun fold I'm going to share with you. So what you need to do is watch my video. I'm going to direct you to take some screenshots. I have a lot of measurements to share with you, and I want you to be able to duplicate this card on your own. So go ahead and pause and take screenshots as you need to. And then when you're done, click on the links in the description below and watch Julie and Shannon and Brandy's videos, and then give a thumbs up right here on YouTube to the video that you like the best. That's how we decide who our winner is for each round. So congratulations. Shout out to Brandy for winning episode, I believe, 6. And today is episode 7, Fun Folds. Enjoy. All right. So I decided to start. What I want to do is show you all of the products that I'm going to use on this Pop and Twist Fun Fold card. And then I'm going to kind of scoot that stuff aside because what I want to do is just focus on sharing with you the technique of making the Fun Fold as well as all of the measurements. So our videos are supposed to be a maximum of 20 minutes. And I feel like if I did every single bit with you, we'd be here for a lot longer than that. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm using the Circle Sayings photopolymer stamp set. This, as well as the designer paper that I'm about to show you, are retiring. Get them while supplies last. We have a lot of retiring products right now in anticipation of our new annual catalog next month. But what I want you to really, I guess, gain from this is that I love the card that I did, and it's great with this designer paper and this stamp set, but use what you've got, or, put things together in a different way so that you're still using the Fun Fold technique, but you're using other products. Just adapt it to whatever works for you. So if you haven't yet got Circle Sayings in your arsenal of stamps, I would recommend this one. I have used it a lot, and I am a little sad that this one's retiring. So that's the stamp set I'm using. The designer paper is masterfully made. It is gorgeous, bright colors. I'm just going to kind of flip through a little bit just so you get an idea. There's scraps. There's all sorts of things in here. But I just want you to get a feel for the patterned paper that I chose for this project. So you get the idea with that one. And then I am using dies from Wanted to Say dies. These are not retiring. I'm pretty sure they're not. I'm pretty sure. I have a pile of stuff that's retiring and then my stuff that's in its usual spot. And I can't remember for sure where I grabbed this. You can check on my website, but I'm pretty sure this one is not retiring. But it's so cool. You can kind of see what it does here. So I've got my detailed die that will cut out happy birthday. And then I've got the outline that goes behind it. It's like when we were little and would write those, not little, like junior high-ish, and we would draw bubble letters. I don't know if you're around the same age as me, around 50, you're going to remember drawing bubble letters. And that's what these dies remind me of. I'm also using some Stampin' Right markers, Berry Burst, Fresh Freesia, my Memento black ink. I've got a few different adhesives I'll talk about. Wink of Stella. She is back. Wink of Stella is back, and I'm so excited to have that back. And also the Lost Lagoon ribbon. So I think that's about everything that I'm using. And I think what I want to do now is pull in, like I said, Fun folds are cool, but they don't fit my quick and creative brand. They're fun, but they're not quick. They're creative 100%, but they're not quick. And so for me, this is something I do for a really, really special occasion. All right, so I'm going to show you these different pieces as well as the measurements. What I would encourage you to do is maybe just pause the video and go ahead and take a screenshot right now. Cardstock 1 can be whatever color you want it to be, but I would suggest doing 2 pieces that are 4 by 5 1/4. And then you're really cutting 2 pieces that are 3.5 by 10. I listed them separately because you score them differently. So one of the 3.5 by 10s, you score every 2.5 inches. The other 3.5 by 10, you score down the center here, which is 1 3/4, and the center here, which is 5 inches. So that is cardstock number 1. Then you've got cardstock number 2. This, I don't know if I said, that was Lost Lagoon. This is Berry Burst. You have one that's 4 1/4 by 11. Actually, pause, take your screenshot so you have it. One of them is 4.5 by 11. This is your card base. And then you've got 4 that are 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. So there's 4 of the same size pieces here. That's cardstock number 2. Your neutral cardstock, I chose basic white. You can do white or vanilla depending on what you are stamping with. Take your screenshot. You've got one that's 3 3/4 by 5, and then 2 pieces that are 2 inches by 3 inches. And then I've got some designer paper. I chose a couple of different patterns. So let me pull them all in and you can take a screenshot with all of them like this. So designer paper 1, 3 3/4 by 5, 1 by 3 3/4, and then these 2, I chose 2 different patterns, so I put designer paper 2 and 3. They're 2 by 3 inches. Now, like I said, make this work for you. Use color combinations that you want. If you've got designer paper, these are pretty little pieces. It's kind of nice to use up some of those scraps sometimes, right? So those are all of my pieces and my measurements. So what I'm going to do, I think, is build some of the more basic pieces. So I'm going to take this designer paper and attach it to my Lost Lagoon layer. So we'll have that ready to go. And then I've got another layer like this and a piece of white. This will make, like when you have all your pieces cut, you look back at those screenshots, you cut according to the measurements, and then it's super easy to just grab off of the different piles to build your project. I like doing it this way instead of like, oh, now I need to cut this. Oh, now I need to cut that. I like just having all of the cutting done and then move on to my assembling stage. That's what works for me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull in my card base and use my bone folder to make sure that scored line is nice and crisp. And then I'll go ahead and attach this to the inside. And we'll just set that right inside here. And then before I attach this, I would go ahead, I'm not going to take the time now because I just don't want to run out of time. All I'm doing is wrapping a ribbon around here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and pull in my finished project so you can see. So I tied the ribbon. I actually tied a bow, and then I used those dies that I had shown you here, the bubble letters, and I did the bubble part with basic white and then the more detailed letters with Lost Lagoon. So I just attached that. I used my multi-purpose liquid glue to attach the letters, wrapped the ribbon around the Lost Lagoon layer, and then it's all on the card front. So there's that. I'm not going to show you what's all going on in there quite yet. So for now, I'm just going to set that aside, not take up time to do that. But let's work on that middle part because that is truly where the magic happens. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and do I need to do this? Let me do this part first. Sorry. There's so many steps and I don't want it to be overwhelming in any way. So, okay. This was 3.5 by 10. Fold it in half on the scored line. It's 5 inches here. Then this way is also in half. And half of 3.5 is 1 3/4. It's math day, friends. It's math day. Okay, now here is what happens. Now we have to do a little bit. I've got a little bit of adhesive here, actually. I need to get out of the way. All right. Now what we need to do is some folding. So I am going to carefully bring this scored line down to this scored line. So I'm just going to match it up like this. And then I'm going to take that bone folder and just go all the way down. Okay? I'll open it up again and do the same thing. Bring this corner and match this with this. A little, okay? So I just lined them up there. And then the same thing. I want to use my bone folder to make sure I have some really nice creases. So when I open this again, I've got my lines where I did it in half, but then I've also created an X. Okay? You could, I suppose, measure that out if you wanted to. It's 1 3/4 of an inch. So if you wanted to go from the center and mark out 1 3/4, 1 3/4, 1 3/4, 1 3/4, and then score from the mark to the mark, you could. I think it's not too hard just to bring it down and fold it. Anyhow, whichever way you decide to do it, your end goal is to have that X in the middle. Now, we're going to play with it a little bit. And actually, it needs to go. Does it matter which way it goes? I'm trying to remind myself. Okay. Hold on. Brain. This way. That's why it's not looking right. I was folding it the wrong way. This is what I need to do. Oh my goodness. Okay. So you're going to bring the corners farthest away together and then set it down. Makes so much more sense. Okay. And while it's here, I'm going to go over those lines once again. Get them nice and straight. You can finagle a little bit, make it work. Okay, now I am going to take tear and tape. This is a nice strong adhesive when you're doing boxes, fun folds, things like that. So I literally just tear it off and set it on my cardstock, and then it's super easy to just peel off the backing and attach it where it needs to go. You can use take your pick tool, you can use your fingernail, whatever works. Apparently my fingernail. Oh, there we go. And just peel off the backing. It exposes that sticky adhesive. And I'm going to pull this part back in. And I'm going to go ahead and set this right on here. I don't want it to go all the way to the crease. I don't want it up there. I want to line it up with the same color. So that's an easy way to remember. The tip of this should be on the edge of the same color. So I'll just make sure it's centered left and right. Set it down there. I'm going to close it. Just kind of push it this way just to make sure it's on there firmly. And now it's attached there, but it's still loose here. So we'll go ahead and do the same exact thing. So you've kind of created this little It looks like a little circus tent type thing, doesn't it? Open it up there. So this is what's going to allow our pop to have a twist. So remember, it's a pop and twist card. Honestly, I have never made one of these before today. So thank you for bearing with me as I remind myself how to do this. It's like I said, it's a super fun card. It's going to be a very special person who gets this on their birthday, because as much fun as it is, it's not my daily go-to stamping. Is it? I would love to hear. Is this like, oh my gosh, Jodi, I've been waiting for you to do something like this forever because this is what I like? Or are you like me and focus on quick and creative? I would just love to know. All right, I'm pushing on that again. And now it's attached in both spots. Okay, so this is what we've got here. It's popping out. And now I'm going to bring in my other piece here. As a reminder, it's scored on the 10-inch side every 2.5 inches. So 2.5, 5, and 7.5. And then I just kind of accordion fold it. Now, what's going to be important is my next placement of tear and tape. And I'm just going to kind of push it like this so it lays open for me. I'm going to put a little bit of tear and tape right here in my bottom left corner. And I'm going to do a couple of pieces just because there's a lot of motion on this card and I want to make sure it's secure. Then I'm going to go to my opposite corner. So I'm going to go to my top right and put tear and tape there and add a second strip right next to it. Okay, so now I'll peel that off. I can't wait to show you the end product here with the pop and twist. Oops. Oh my. All right. Okay, here we go. So, let me get those ready. Got that. This is the moment of truth, people. Do I remember what I'm doing? I think I do. All right, I think I'm going to start down here. So I'm taking this piece. The middle section is pointing toward me. Okay, right here. I'm going to take this piece. They're both 3.5 by 10. So it should hopefully be easy to line up. Okay, press that adhesive. Remember, it's just down here. And then I think I'm going to just kind of open it more here. And then I've got adhesive in this top corner only. So I'm going to make sure it's secure there. So I've got adhesive here and here. And now is when it twists, okay? So it's one of those things where if you just look at this part, you're like, I don't get what just happened. But when you do it, I promise it'll make more sense. So just showing you like this, so when you duplicate it, you can kind of see what's going on. It's got this gap here, and on the opposite side, it's on the bottom. That's what lets it twist down and pop up, that little mechanism there. The more you do it, the easier this will happen, the more naturally it will happen. Okay, I think I need to pull in my finished project because I am approaching our time limit. So let me go ahead and show you the final project. I already showed you the cover, or not cover, but the card front with the ribbon and the die cuts. And now I'm going to open it and let that pop out at you. Isn't that fun? So what I did here, remember that circle sayings, I've got the happy birthday in the little burst, some designer paper. On this one, where did I put that stamp set? Where did I put that stamp set? Here it is. All right, on this one, this stamp is a circle with celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. What I did is I just inked up one of them and stamped it here. The full circle would not have fit on this 2-inch by 3-inch piece. So I just did that, added the cupcake because you're awesome. So happy birthday, celebrate because you're awesome. This one I just decided to leave some designer paper. You might notice on the frosting on the cupcake and on that little burst, that's where I added my sparkly Wink of Stella. I'm so glad she's back in stock. I've missed using Wink of Stella. So we've got that, and then here is where you would write your greeting, that little designer paper, pulling it together there. So your top view, your front view like this, watch it close. Okay, that's it. That is the Pop and Twist Fun Fold card. I hope you love it. Give it a try. Honestly, if I can do a fun fold, you can do a fun fold. Take a look at your screenshots, get everything cut and placed in front of you. Like I said, I find that much easier to just pull in what you need and build your card. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to watch everybody's video. Give a thumbs up to the one that you like the most. And I hope that is my Pop and Twist Fun Fold. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.